This week on the premiere of 49ers Cal High Sports, we meet one of the Bay Area's top football players returning to the field after an injury sidelined him last season.
We have the inspirational story of a top wheelchair basketball star who does so much more, and the story of the Midi basketball player overcoming childhood cancer. It's all next on 49ers Cal High Sports.
Welcome to 49ers Cal High Sports presented by U.S. Bank. I'm Robert Bronstein.
And I'm Aubrey Tolliver. We're back for another season. This one will be nothing less than historic.
It seems like it's been so long since we've been here in the studio.
It has, since March.
Yeah, it's like 6 months. This year the games will not begin until January, so until then our show will look a little bit different.
Over the next coming weeks, we'll be telling stories of some of the top athletes around the Bay Area. We'll have stories of athletes overcoming adversity and those who compete in sports outside of their high schools.
An example of that is how we begin tonight with the South San Jose girl and her love for horses. But
Madison doesn't stop there. She also competes for a Leland High School team.
Saturday morning in South San Jose, the Horsemen's in Almaden is hosting a regular competition where riders compete in a variety of events. Madison Scott is riding Shadow, a horse she's trained with the past year, but this is their first live competition.
We're pretty good friends. I've known him for a year now. We've had time to bond, ride. I mean, it comes to the point like when I show up, he in like Northern Knickers, and I'm really happy to see me that I take him out.
Madison and Shadow do very well, finishing the course in just over 18 seconds.
It's really good. I'm proud. First time running him on any patterns, so be good for our first time.
Like many little girls, Madison was in love with ponies at a very young age. One trip to a grocery store changed her life.
Funny story. Not your typical how you got into the sport. So once my dad and I were going to the grocery store. We were in the produce section. I was like every other little girl, obsessed with ponies, stuffed ponies. And so I was carrying around a little paint and I brought it to the grocery store with me. And we were in the produce section and there was this very nice lady who was getting carrots. And she noticed the plush toy that I had and she said, "Oh, you like horses? I have one that looks exactly like it."
That woman introduced Madison to her horse. A passion for ponies turned into a love for riding. A decade later, and Madison's skills got the attention of Shadow's owners, they asked Madison if she would ride their horse, Shadow. That brings Madison to this ranch in Morgan Hill several times a week. Madison is here working out with Shadow. It's a tough sport that does take lots of training to get good.
For Gymkhana, what I do, you probably want to take lessons to know what you're doing, to not hurt the horse. Because you want to be the most effective you can be in the sport. You don't want to go in there and injure yourself or your horse because you can come off as well.
From here, riders can compete in amateur rodeos, and if you're really good, onto the pro circuit. But Madison is here to have fun. She realizes she has 2 more years to ride and then off to college. Madison is also part of the Leland swim team. In season, Madison will swim and ride, giving her a very busy schedule.
With year-round swimming, I sadly only get here like 2 to 3 times a week. During the week, my normal schedule, depending on what day of practice, what we're doing. Like last year, I was skipping Wednesdays, and every Wednesday I'd come out and ride after school. And instead, I'd swim in the morning. I still gotta get those laps in, and then I'd ride Saturday and Sunday.
With all of this, Madison maintains a 3.9 GPA. She's not sure what her major will be in college, but maybe something in the medical field. Until then, Madison will keep her busy schedule doing what she loves. It's a rare swimming, riding, athletic combination that makes for a very happy Madison Scott. Madison is now in her senior year at Leland and looks to compete on the swim team again this year, much later in the spring.
Much later, right? Yeah, yeah. In February,
or something.
maybe. Oh my
March,
gosh.
April.
All right. Well, Lexus of Stevens Creek is back again this year to honor high school athletes who do great work in our community.
Tonight's volunteer is Katie Lee from Leland High School. Every day, Katie Lee and her team of volunteers go to the grocery store to shop for elderly people in South San Jose, people who are the most vulnerable to the coronavirus.
Well, actually, I saw a Twitter post in early March, and it told the story about this woman who went to the store and she found an elderly woman in her car. Apparently she was waiting there for 2 hours asking strangers to go into the store and help her buy groceries because she was too scared to go in by herself. This was when quarantine wasn't happening yet, so people were still in public spaces, but the virus was still going around and stuff. And that really touched me, and I thought I could do something to help out with that too.
Katie thought it would be great to start a service taking orders and doing the shopping for these people who should not be leaving their homes.
I asked my sister if she wanted to do deliveries with me, and I also made a post on Nextdoor, which is this community app. And my post blew up. It got 500 likes, and it got a lot of attention. And a bunch of people started reaching out about deliveries. And once those became really overwhelming, and there was a lot, I asked other friends if they could help out too. So we have a team of 8 or 7 people so far.
The goal is to seamlessly get groceries to the seniors without ever having any kind of person-to-person contact.
I text them a picture of the receipt, and I say, the groceries was this amount. And then they just leave money under the doormat, or they Venmo me or PayPal.
It's worked out really well. We've had a lot of thankful messages, a lot of support. People have been donating to us generously. Someone has offered to donate 10% of all the groceries we buy, the cost of the groceries we buy, to us, and we're giving that right back to Off Their Plate, which is a nonprofit that provides food for healthcare and frontline workers, so they don't have to struggle either.
Katie was looking forward to playing her junior season of lacrosse for the Leland team this year.
Well, this season we only got to play one scrimmage, and it wasn't even a real game, so I was really disappointed that we didn't get to a lot of the season. But my teammates know about what I'm doing, my coach does too, and they've reached out and gave me a lot of support.
Katie's kindness comes with little reward. By design, she rarely sees the people she helps, but Katie knows the gift of groceries is a lifesaver to all of those people.
Katie will be part of the Lexus of Stevens Creek Volunteer Scholarship Contest late this spring. 5 of our volunteers will split $10,000 in scholarship money.
Very nice of Lexus of Stevens Creek, and really great of Katie and her friends doing wonderful work for older people, doing their shopping. Wonderful. All right, Stevens Creek Chevrolet brings us the Spirit Corner each week. This week we feature the girls from NorCal Elite in San Ramon.
1, 2, 3, and roll! We are very excited to be highlighting cheer teams this season. Contact us at 49ersCalHighSports.com or on social media at 49ersCalHigh to have your cheer team featured on the show this year. Coming up, meet the Valley Christian tight end already with 17 Division I offers.
17, and later, the Midi basketball star and his emotional journey, the Marcus Green story, later on.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah, I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
1, 2, 3.
Get ready to cheer for your next new or used car at Stevens Creek Chevrolet.
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
We're ready to make your buying experience safe and easy. Come to our dealership to see and test drive one of hundreds of great Chevrolet cars and trucks. Or you can go online to shop, order, and have your new car delivered right to your door. So get fired up for a great deal right here at
Stevens Creek Chevrolet!
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Stevens Creek Chevrolet, find new roads. By Wingstop, order Wingstop's new all-in bundle, just $19.99. See wingstop.com for restrictions and details. And by Cupertino Electric, the company delivering power and possibilities and celebrating student athletes making a positive impact.
We are back at the NBC Sports Studio in the beautiful Levi Stadium with a feature on one of the top-ranked recruits in all of California.
You might recognize Sam Roush from our season-long coverage on the Valley Christian football team last fall. Well, he was out most of that season with an elbow injury, but that didn't stop the scouts from looking his way. Meet Sam Roush, a 6'5", 220-pound tight end from Valley Christian High School.
He's a great guy to have on your team. If you're the coach or if you're a player, he's a guy you want on your roster. He can change directions. He can play the ball up. He just has a lot of athletic ability when it comes to making plays. Sam is a big, nice kid who is gonna light you up if it's his job to do so.
I played receiver last year, so I got to run a lot of routes and show off my athleticism, which I think helped with recruiting.
Sam is going into his junior season and has already picked up 17 offers, 8 of those from Pac-12 schools, which is surprising given the fact that an elbow injury kept Sam sidelined for most of last season.
I hurt my elbow, so I only got to play 5 games, but maybe January after that season, I started picking up more offers, and my recruiting started picking up. And that's, I think, when I kind of realized that it was going to get bigger and bigger from there.
Everybody's excited to see Sam play, but I'm not surprised at all that all these offers have come before him even having a full season at that position.
Ready to go.
He just gives a lot of versatility, so teams can use him in a lot of different sets.
I think I've gotten a lot better during COVID, which is helpful. I think a lot of people haven't noticed that yet, obviously, because I haven't been able to play a season yet. But I think once I get back into football, people will notice and they'll realize that I've gotten even better from last season.
Sam says it's his work ethic that sets him apart from other players, not just on the field, but in the classroom.
I think school is a big effort thing, and I feel like I try really hard in school. I have straight A's, so I've been working hard in school. I think that's the biggest characteristic of how hard is a person at working. Is what they do in their regular life, like school.
Sam plans to commit to a college at the end of his junior year.
So I have 3 kind of criteria. So 1, I want it to be a good academic school. 2, I want to win games, right? So a good football school. And then 3, what's the general feel I get from the coaches, the players, the school, just like the team culture kind of stuff.
You can bet Sam will have his pick of the litter as the most wanted tight end in all of the Bay. I tried to pressure Sam into giving me some clues about which college he might be leaning towards, but he's making sure to keep all of his options open.
You didn't tell him that he has to go to Syracuse because you went there?
No, he hasn't had an offer from Syracuse.
What?
Yeah, but I'm sure he's going Pac-12.
It just proves how messed up that school really is.
No, it's not.
Well, high school sports are not being played this fall. E-gamers are having lots of fun, so we decided to put together our own Madden League with high school gamers all around the Bay Area.
We've teamed up with the Ultimate Gaming League to put together the first of its kind high school league. There are still a few spots available. It's free, lots of great prizes. So sign up right here. Highlights from the first week of games on the show next week.
Coming up, there is very little this girl can't do. We'll see how Ella Rodriguez competes in a variety of sports. without a right foot.
And later, the table tennis star fast on his feet and headed to the top. We'll meet Ved Chef when we come back.
Every day, the sun comes up. And right on cue, the work begins. We start every morning, knowing full well we're in it for the long haul. Our work is a labor of love. No task too small, no moment uncherished. And although we're not often thanked, we rest knowing that our work is making a brighter future. This is more than milk.
Go to SB Live California as your destination for the very best in local high school sports coverage online. SB Live brings sports fans exclusive articles, highlights, coaches, polls, and photo galleries. Get the SB Live app for the latest scores from games played all around the Bay Area and California. This season, SB Live brings you exclusive content in partnership with 49ers Cal High Sports. Follow us at SB Live CA on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. SB Live, the Bay Area's first destination for the latest in high school sports.
Tri-Counties Bank presents a unique brand of service with solutions, a welcoming and listening style of banking with solutions that help improve your financial well-being. With easy access to over 32,000 surcharge-free ATMs, advanced mobile banking, banker support by phone 7 days a week, and an extensive community-based branch network, you're never far from a friendly face. It's easy to switch to better banking. Tri-Counties Bank, service with solutions.
And you're watching 49ers Cal High Sports Report.
Each week, U.S. Bank helps us bring you stories of inspirational athletes who amaze us.
This week, we meet Ella Rodriguez, a fun, super competitive athlete from Christopher High School who would never let her condition keep her from reaching for the stars.
I feel like sport is a simpler version of life in some senses. Allows us to be able to communicate with each other and ourselves in a way that we need to learn how to do in life. That support system is really key to not only self-confidence in the sport, but also self-confidence in life. Put it on my leg.
So Ella was born with a congenital birth defect, and we amputated her foot at 9 months old. Sometimes cutting something off to make a situation better doesn't necessarily sound like the best solution, but the doctor just basically said if it was my child, I would amputate. So we did, and look at her now.
We don't really need it, but it's good for form.
Ella Rodriguez is an emerging Paralympic athlete from Christopher High School.
There's always a vibe about her that, you know, it's just, you know, hey, we're here to train, we're here to go. Nothing's gonna stop me, nothing's gonna stop you.
She radiates joy, confidence, and pride. But as you can imagine, growing up, Ella had to come to terms with what made her different.
She had a real hard time with it. People would stare and seem interested, and she was not, she was very standoffish. She didn't want to talk about it. She just wanted to act like she was the same as everybody else.
I mean, in sports, you can't hide your prosthetic. Like in normal day life, you could try to hide with pants or something, but but in sports, there's no hiding.
Ella says by playing sports, her confidence began to grow, learning how to embrace her difference. So Ella signed up for nearly every sport she could.
Dance, volleyball, field hockey. I did golf for 2 years. I do wheelchair basketball. I've done cheerleading, and I do track and field. And I think my main motivation for finding a sport that I liked, even despite my challenge, was to find a community of people that would support me and that we could support each other, because I feel like human connection is very important, especially when you're going through life. Even when I'm doing sports, sometimes people aren't the most accepting, and that you can tell that there are people that don't exactly accept me for who I am. There are always going to be those kind of people, and I feel like sports kind of prepare you for that, and they really make you and they force you to trust in your own ability and to trust that you'll be able to improve.
Today, Ella focuses on two main sports, track and field and wheelchair basketball. She hopes to continue her athletic career for a collegiate team and for Team USA at the Paralympics.
Being a Paralympic emerging athlete, it's definitely a lot of pressure, but for the flip side of it, and probably the most prominent side of it, you have this sense of pride that you are able to one day possibly compete for your country. The more people know about Paralympics, I feel like the world could become like a more accepting place.
Sports have guided Ella on her journey to acceptance, confidence, and self-love.
You good?
Ella wants to be that guiding light
up
for others.
There you go. I believe I want to be an advocate because when I was younger, I just felt like there was no one else that could answer my questions. Because I had questions like, what do I do when people stare at me? And I just wanted to have someone that could mentor me possibly, and that would just be there for me to answer the small questions even when I was a child. And I feel like you could reach your full potential with someone just guiding you.
We'll get you a smaller one.
And that's what I want to be for other athletes.
Ella knows she has absolutely no limits on what she can accomplish, and it's going to be exciting to see where she ends up.
Yeah, she's going to be great, and she's already accomplished so much.
So much, yeah.
Yeah, all right. Wingstop brings us the Wings of an Angel honor each week, where a student athlete talks about their favorite teacher.
That's right. Here's Jordan Job from Pioneer High School talking about her favorite teacher.
My favorite teacher is Miss Dampierre. She's my math teacher, and she's my favorite because she really tries to connect with her students and make sure we're understanding what we're doing. And she's just someone who I can talk to if I need help with like daily life problems or school problems.
Our Wings of an Angel teacher will receive a Wingstop gift card for doing such a great job in the classroom.
Wingstop is also honoring Terry Blanchard, a Wingstop owner who passed away this past spring from COVID-19. Wingstop will be supporting scholarships for athletes of color in Terry's honor. Those scholarships to be presented at our end of the season awards banquet in June.
Coming up, the Fremont athlete succeeding on the world stage in table tennis.
And later, one girl's battle for social justice as 49ers Cal High Sports rolls along.
Piercy Honda, located right off Highway 880 in Milpitas, is where you will find hundreds of new and pre-owned Hondas to choose from. Low credit score, no credit, first-time buyer? No problem, Piercy Honda can help. Find us online at piercyhonda.com to search our inventory, calculate your payments, and even complete your purchase. Piercy Honda is home to great customer service, great deals, and a more convenient way to buy a new or pre-owned Honda. Go to Piercy Honda in Milpitas.
Are you ready to sink your teeth into a lemon pepper, sweet and spicy Korean cube-tastic mango habanero
master class in all things wings?
Yes, I am.
Are you though?
I'll take that.
All right. Get the new all-in bundle for just $19.99. Available for delivery and carry-out for a limited time. Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By DGDG.com, where we want you to be a happy car buyer. By the Rikers Center, where goals and dreams become a reality. By Tri-Counties Bank, service with solutions. 12 locations now open in the Bay Area. And by the Sereno Group, here for good.
I'm Kathleen Pazine with Sereno Group Real Estate, and I'm proud to support Bay Area high school sports on the 49ers Cal High Sports Report.
Albany's Construction helps us bring you athletes who just get it done, like Albany's Construction.
Aubrey Vedchef is competing on the world stage as one of the top table tennis players in his age group. The experience is exciting and challenging, and Ved is just getting it done. It's not hard to find Ved Chef. Every day, several hours a day, he is here at his dad's club in Milpitas hitting table tennis balls.
Yes, I like table tennis. It's just so fun, you know, like when the ball comes towards you and just hitting it as hard as you can. It's a fun sport.
The game is part of Ved's family.
My dad used to play in India. He was on the state team. And then he came to the US and he's the manager actually of the ICC Table Tennis Club. So when I was 5 years old, I was like old enough to come to the summer camp over here. So then that's how I started.
Now a sophomore at Fremont's Kennedy High School, Ved is looking to advance in the game with both short and long-term goals.
Currently, I would like to get in the top 50 world ranking of under 18. That's like more of a short-term goal. My long-term goal is to play in the Olympics.
He actually is a very nice case and then is very, very good player, working so hard every day. And every day, even he finished the training, he do his use his own time doing the extra physical training. And then he's working very hard and also have good talent.
As part of the under-18 national team, Ved gets to travel the world playing the best of the best, something Ved really enjoys.
Yes, I really do. It's fun to play with players from other countries. You can also, sometimes you can learn things from players from other countries, and it's really interesting to play with them, learn new styles.
Table tennis can be grueling. You have to be quick on your feet and strong with your shots.
You need to do push-ups or weights because in table tennis you have to hit the ball as hard as you can, right? So you need to be able to develop arm strength for that. And then you also need to do for legs, like maybe lunges, running, biking, squats, to make your legs stronger because many people won't see table tennis as a hard sport, but actually you need to move pretty fast.
Also an avid chess player, Ved tries to be strategic with his table tennis as well.
In table tennis, you can try to move your opponent around by giving it to the corners. For example, you serve short in one of the corners of the table, and then when your opponent receives the ball, you immediately hit it to the other corner, try to move them around.
The pandemic kept Ved from training for 3 months, but he's now back at the table. There are lots of special rules to keep the players safe, including labeling your personal set of table tennis balls so you only touch the ones labeled with your initials. Ved is looking forward to getting back into competition and moving up the ranks of the table tennis world. The pandemic has put a hold on many of the scheduled tournaments for Ved, but as the games are allowed to open up, Ved will be back traveling the world playing the game he loves.
He is awesome.
So quick. The speed is unbelievable.
I know. I can't even. I played softball, and that is going so fast.
I played against him a little bit.
Did you?
It wasn't,
I would have paid to see that.
There were no video cameras on the scene at that time. It's Deja Mu, Clover Dairy, bringing us the athletes who are grazing their way through the professional ranks. This week we feature Bay Area legend Brandi Chastain.
Brandi is a two-time Olympic gold medalist in women's soccer who is a part of the graduating class of 1986 at Archbishop Mitty High School. Brandi has since retired from professional soccer and now serves as the assistant coach at Bellarmine College Prep. All right, coming up, the Lee football player and his travels from West Africa to San Jose.
And the Bay Area high school basketball star overcoming cancer to become one of the very best players in the Bay Area.
We're back at Levi Stadium with the story of one football player's journey to San Jose.
Kiara Biagini is here with his story.
Robert, tonight we meet Lamine Sano, a recent graduate from Lee High School, native to Sierra Leone, West Africa. Lamine moved to the U.S. after a tragic family death and found a new home playing sports for the Longhorns.
Sports are universal. It doesn't matter where you come from or what language you speak, sports connect people from all around the world.
My name is Lamine Sana. I'm from West Africa, Sierra Leone. I was born during the wartime. Life there is pretty tough. And most of my friends got married at a very young age. If I was there right now, I think I'll be getting married too, but apparently I'm not. So I'm just blessed. I came to the US to find a better life.
Lamine Sano is a student athlete at Lee High School. He spent the first 12 years of his life growing up in Sierra Leone during a time of brutal war and poverty. In Lamin's hometown, it was rare for kids to go to school and resources were often scarce.
My dad was a diamond digger in the diamond mine, and my dad died when I was 7. I mean, he was the best dad. Everyone knows him, and he was like a good man, and he like cared a lot about people. I mean, like, even though I get to know him a little bit because both of us like used to go a lot. Like, he used to take me to soccer matches to like watch game and stuff. I wish like he could have like been with me like until now. Like.
Shortly after his father passed away, Lamin was separated from his mother when she moved to the U.S. in an effort to give Lamin and his older sister a better future.
I couldn't be with her for like super long. That was like hard. Like, I can't like live without her. It's like hard, you know. Like, I was just home with my uncle and my aunt. They were like taking good care of me. My mom, like, well, even though she didn't have a job at first, she was like struggling there a lot and stuff before she could finally like get her better jobs and like for us to come here. Like,
after being apart for 5 years, Lamin joined his mother in the U.S. when he was 12 years old. He started 6th grade not knowing any English.
I was like sad, really, really sad, because like I didn't know where I was coming, so I don't like know much about America and stuff. Like most other people say America is heaven, like stuff, like it's nice. First I came here, I didn't like know much English, and then like people would talk to me, I just like walk away because I didn't know what to say. I was a little scared, like stuff. People would think I was weird. I was like, people don't get it. Like I didn't know, like I didn't speak English.
Lamin saw a tutor, joined after-school programs, took summer classes, and read many books to learn the complex English language. What helped him the most was playing sports.
In high school, like I didn't have that much friends, but like it was kind of tough. And then I was like, the only way I can like be connected to people was for me to like do sports. And like a lot of people know me now and stuff. And then like I did like soccer, wrestling, football, and track. The only reason I do soccer is because of my dad, like how he used to go to watch soccer matches and stuff. And that like gives me courage to like do soccer.
Sports gave Lamin a platform to grow and learn as an individual. Before playing sports, Lamin was intimidated to hold conversations in English.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. Good job.
As Lamin grew closer to his teammates and coaches, he broke out of his shell.
I think I've become a better person now. Like I've grown a lot, I've learned a lot, I'm becoming more responsible and stuff.
Lamin is a graduating 4-sports star from Lehigh. He will be the first male in his family to attend college when he starts online classes at San Jose State University in the fall.
And even though like my parents didn't like go to high school, they didn't finish school because of the war and stuff. So it'd be a big opportunity for me to like go to school, like college, and like become successful and like have a better life, you know? So I can have a better future for my family and me.
Lamin does not only wish for a better life for his family, but for all the kids in his hometown. He dreams of returning to Sierra Leone to start educational and athletic programs for the youth, giving back what he was so blessed to receive. Lamin started online classes at San Jose State. He was looking forward to getting involved on campus this year, maybe try out for some club teams, but he's making the best of the situation and just grateful to further his education.
Yeah, going on to San Jose State. As we all know, a wonderful school, unlike Syracuse, but good for Lamin, doing a good job. The Harker School brings us the Scholar Athlete Awards each week. This week we honor a young lady we met earlier in the show, Katie Lee from the Leland lacrosse team, sporting an impressive 3.9 GPA. Brought to you by the Harker School. Last week, a school record 15 Harker students were named to the top 300 in the 2020 Broadcom Masters program. And in late July, junior Vayun Tawari was declared the youth winner in the 2020 Audubon Photography Awards. At Harker, preschool through 12th grade students discover their passions. Learn more at harker.org. Coming up, Mitty's Marcus Green in his battle to get back on the court.
And later, the Sacred Heart Cathedral star in her efforts to battle social injustice.
Some see a grilled cheese sandwich and ask why. I see a new kitchen with a grill and ask why not.
I really need to start adding less to cart and more to savings.
Sitting on this couch so long made me want to make some changes, starting with this couch.
Yeah,
I need a house with a different view. And this is the bank that will help you do it all. Because at U.S. Bank, our people are dedicated to turning your new inspiration into your next pursuit.
For more than 65 years, Cupertino Electric has been delivering power and possibilities. With offices throughout California and project sites throughout the U.S., Cupertino Electric today builds renewable, commercial, utility, and data center projects for some of the most influential companies in the world. Beyond that, we are a people company. We build family, communities, and meaningful careers. Visit CEI.com today or connect with us on LinkedIn, Facebook, or other social sites to see our openings and join our team.
Devcon Construction is #1 in the Bay Area and Silicon Valley because of trust. 95% of our business comes from repeat customers. They know the customer is our top priority. That's why Devcon was the choice for the 49ers Stadium and for the Earthquake Stadium. Devcon was also chosen when outstanding schools like Bellarmine, the Nueva School, and Mitty wanted the very best on time and on budget. Top Bay Area companies know Devcon is the best choice whether it's new construction or renovation. Devcon Construction, helping to build the best in Silicon Valley.
Welcome back to 49ers Cal High Sports Report. Up next, we have the story of an amazing water polo player.
Allie Williams joins us now with the story of this Stanford recruit.
That's right, Robert. For Sam Sternfels, multitasking is an everyday routine. Her optimistic outlook, determination, and structure are helping her soar over every challenge she meets. Sam Sternfels is preparing for her first year with Stanford women's water polo, despite the pandemic postponing sports for the time being. A 2020 graduate of Tamalpais High School, Sam made a lasting impression on her alma mater.
Hi, Ms. Backer. Hi, Ms. Garcia. Hi, Ms. Sander. Sorry, I'm seeing all my old teachers. I miss you too.
Sam was ASB president, volunteered in multiple clubs, graduated with a 4.8 GPA, and led the TAM Red-Tailed Hawks to back-to-back NCS titles in 2018 and 2019.
So most of my lunches were made up of sprinting to different classrooms, trying to get in on meetings.
Clearly she's very mature about how she handles this all and balances these things. She's just extremely capable, and I was shocked a little bit at how capable she is.
The determination was something helping Sam work her way to Stanford women's water polo, but she had a few obstacles between her and a spot on the team.
He was very honest with me. He's like, you're not 6 feet tall, you're not very heavy, and you're not on the national team, so I don't have a spot for you right now. Okay, I don't know what I can do about my higher weight, but I was like, let's make the national team.
Accepting the challenge, Sam earned a spot on USA Water Polo's Futures squad. She traveled to Hungary and averaged 2 goals per game. The international competition was fierce. Sam played against Olympians whose style of play far outpaced the high school game.
We'd be playing against some 30-year-old 4-time Olympian, and we'd be like, oh my God, she's so cool. But you're also like, don't drown me.
One big thing is the refereeing over there is very different. And they look at it like it's an international style of play. There's a lot more contact. There's a lot more that the refs will allow you to do versus high school girls in the United States.
When Sam came back to TAM, there was an adjustment period back to high school play, but she used her experience to her advantage. The girls won their second NCS title that year. Sam proved herself to Stanford water polo, but was actually accepted on her own merit. Between her monster GPA, leadership, volunteering, and other extracurriculars, Sam was accepted and had a spot on the water polo team waiting for her. She's had her determined mindset since she was a freshman, when she was the only girl playing club water polo. Now, it's the mentality to play year-round.
That's the thing I'm most proud of leaving at TAM, my mark on TAM Girls Water Polo. I don't want it to be remembered as the legacy of winning games or winning championships. I want it to be that now it's a competitive program.
I think this is the best way I can say it. With Sam leading the team and with me as coach, we set out our intention to win. And the great thing about intention is you put it out there in the universe, and if everything lines up, you know, it comes back to you the way you want, and that's what happened with us.
Stanford water polo won't start for a few months, but Sam is staying competitive by playing on a male club team. COVID regulations allow for practice in the Marin area, but it's a strict routine before getting in the pool. It's a new world, but Sam is able to maneuver it in the way she always has, with ambition.
I have so many big goals right now. It's almost embarrassing how much I want to achieve.
There is so much on the horizon for Sam, with great possibilities. First up, playing this spring at Stanford.
The Stanford water polo season won't start until next year with the rest of the Pac-12, but it's clear Sam is going to be prepared for anything coming her way.
Yeah, she's outstanding, one of the best water polo players in the Bay Area.
Be sure to check us out on social media for lots of fun content, including videos, breaking news updates, and lots more. We're at 49ers Cal High everywhere, including TikTok.
Coming up, it's Marcus Green. We'll have his story of perseverance next.
And later, the Sacred Heart Cathedral star and her efforts to battle social injustice.
49ers Cal High Sports is brought to you by these fine companies who care about high school sports. By Lexus of Stevens Creek, we get it. By Clover Sonoma, the #1 milk brand in Northern California and proud partners of the 49ers. And by DevCon Construction, design, build, perform, sustain.
Welcome back. Our next story is an incredible testament to perseverance and courage.
Chiara Biagini rejoins us now with the story of the Midi basketball player and his road to recovery.
Robert, last winter, the Midi boys basketball team had a season to remember, winning league and section titles, but also dealing with the onset of a global pandemic. Recent graduate Marcus Green is all too familiar with battling life-rattling illness.
If you follow Bay Area basketball, you've probably heard the name Marcus Green. Archbishop Midi graduate, elite athlete, one of the top combo guards in NorCal, and a cancer survivor.
We work day and night, you know. Big players came out. Owen Brown, he doesn't start, came up and did a fantastic job. That's my guy, and everyone just came out ready to play and did whatever we had to do to win.
In 7th grade, I was diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, stage 2. It was definitely tough to be hit with such an obstacle, but I just kept moving, kept playing basketball, doing what I loved to offset the bad things going on.
Marcus was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, the cancer starting in the lymph system. The lymph system is part of the body's immune system working to protect the body from infections and diseases. Marcus immediately received chemotherapy every day for 12 weeks, followed by 2 weeks of radiation.
The medicine definitely took its toll, but it took away my strength, but it never took away from my love and passion to pursue it again. So it still felt, even though I got tired easier, it just still kept playing.
The long days at Stanford Hospital and grueling chemotherapy treatments took a toll on 12-year-old Marcus and the entire Green family.
I think the hardest parts was seeing the effect on my loved ones. They're seeing the youngest in the family going through such an obstacle that no one should be facing, no matter what age. And that was tough for me to see. So my goal was to appear as strong as possible so they could worry less.
Marcus kept an incredibly optimistic attitude throughout his fight against cancer. After 5 months of battling the disease, Marcus went into remission, just in time to get ready to play basketball at Midi.
Right, extremely grateful with great health at a great program with all my friends playing basketball to the highest levels. I'm extremely grateful for this opportunity, and I know it couldn't have been done without Stanford and their medical staff. They made me feel at home, never felt scared, always felt so much love, and even at the last championship, CCS championship game, my doctor came to the game and showed love and support, which was amazing. So it was cool. I could always talk to him about, oh, I played this and that basketball. And now he could see 5 years down the road where I'm at and how I excelled and processed, thanks to him.
Marcus was humbled by the outpouring support of his community. He was never alone in his fight against cancer.
one of my teammates, Owen Brown, when I had cancer, he shaved his head to support me right then and there. And that support has been going on since childhood, you know. I've been knowing them forever, and they support me on the court, off the court, in any way I need, so I really appreciate that.
You see how he performs with just going all out, and that's the kind of teammate he is too. He just puts everything into the team, and he'll do whatever the team needs for him, whether it be scoring, whether it be defending. And then also, he's just got a great personality, great perspective on life, and he's kind of the life of the party with our group, but knows how to be serious and get down to business, but also enjoy it as well. So he kind of gives us our life.
Marcus worked out every day during shelter in place and even put on 25 pounds of muscle. He's continuing his basketball career at one of the nation's top prep schools, Scotland Campus in Pennsylvania.
Cancer shouldn't change your life. It shouldn't affect it. You should just keep doing the same thing you've been doing, enjoy life to the fullest. And if you keep a positive outlook, things fall into place.
Now, I covered a lot of Midi basketball the past 2 years, and I had no idea Marcus was a cancer survivor. He doesn't look for sympathy or extra attention. He just works hard and lets his performance speak for itself. He's an incredible kid.
Yeah, did a great job with the Midi team all those years, and now on to even better things.
Yes.
All right, thanks, Kate. Coming up, the Sacred Heart Cathedral star looking to make a change. Her story is next.
But first, here's this week's training tip by our good friends at the Ricketts Center.
I'm Andrew Havili, and today's training tip is a barbell pull and high pull. These exercises are your foundations for your cleans, your snatches, all your Olympic lifts. So Ben's going to load up with his hips back, feet flat, and from there he's going to come up onto his toes in a triple extension. But now he's going to go fast with it, and this is the pull part. Good, again. Who wants to do a high pull now, he'll do the same thing, but now drive his elbows up as he goes. Go ahead. The power should be coming from your hip extension. This is a barbell pull and high pull.
Not only did we have to deal with a global pandemic this summer, but also we experienced some time of racial unrest.
That's right, protests all across the country. Allie Williams is back now with the story of one student athlete looking to make the change.
Robert, many students are preparing to wind down during summer vacation. Emily Jones was preparing a speech for hundreds of protesters.
On the court, Emily Jones is a leader for the Sacred Heart Cathedral girls basketball team. Off the court, she's becoming a leader in so many other ways.
I had been to another protest like a couple weeks before, and I wanted to go to another one.
In June, Emily spoke at a peaceful protest supporting the Black Lives Matter movement. The event, named Speak Up and Dribble, was created as a positive response to the, quote, Fox anchor Laura Ingraham aimed at LeBron James, saying to, quote, shut up and dribble back in 2018.
Myself and a bunch of friends kind of were thinking about what can we do to make sure that, you know, the kids that we coach, the kids that we interact with feel empowered. And so we said, hey, we could give everyone a basketball and take it to the streets and have our own form of protest.
Before she took the megaphone at City Hall, Emily took extra care to prepare her message.
Brainstorming with my mom and just kind of figuring out like what my message was going to be, just to talk about my point of view as like, you know, Gen Z, like the next generation, and then being a Black female.
The things that she was saying were so important. She spoke about making sure that folks were prepared to vote. And just for a member of the youth community to have that foresight was just extremely impressive for me.
Typically, when you play basketball, you know, you don't worry about playing in front of thousands of people, you know, but when it comes to public speaking, it's just like, even if it's 5 people in the crowd, it could be very daunting and create an atmosphere that makes people very nervous. But it didn't surprise me that she went and spoke. She definitely has that skill set from her family. Her parents have done an amazing job raising her.
Protesters then kneeled or dribbled for 8 minutes and 46 seconds in memory of George Floyd before continuing the march to Hayes Valley. It's one of many protests that continue on today.
I feel like there's always been protests, but now it's just like bigger numbers more people are addressing the issues that are happening right now, so I feel like that's why it's a lot different.
Next year, Emily is committed to play basketball for Morgan State, one of the historically black colleges and universities, and looks forward to continuing speaking out and speaking up.
It's just like good to let people know that you also have a voice and a perspective.
For me, as a coach, I love it. And this generation, I think they're misunderstood at times. As adults, we need to stop and listen to what they're saying, because this generation is very fearless. They're so knowledgeable on so many things, and I love it. I love hearing from them and encourage them to use their voice to continue to speak up on things.
Until then, Emily has one more year with Sacred Heart Cathedral. She transferred from St. Ignatius after her sophomore year and has quickly become a prominent part of the Fightin' Irish.
Very crafty, has a huge impact on the game. You can definitely tell when she's out there.
Emily enjoys her role as leader on the court, but she believes leading off the court to help make the change is something everyone can do.
Thanks, Allie. That's our 49ers Cal High Sports for this week. Thanks for watching. I'm Robert Bronstein.
And I'm Aubrey Tolliver. Join us next week as we meet one of the top basketball recruits in the nation. We'll meet the star Campalindo basketball player and his mission to play for another state title this season.
It was really one of the toughest basketball experiences I've had, if not the toughest. You know, you lose a lot of hard games, but what really stuck with me is I'd rather lose that game than not play it at all.
We'll also update you on Jalen Rios as we featured Jalen last season as he battled through leukemia. We go back to see how Jalen is doing now.
After chemos, I always feel like crap, so I'm always constantly thinking, rolling things in my head, just getting kind of freaked out. Kind of like, what if something's wrong,
And we'll talk with Bishop O'Dowd's Kennedy Johnson and get her unique perspective on COVID-19.
I caught H1N1, so I was in the hospital for 4 days, and that was killing like a lot of little children and people of all ages, but mainly it was targeting like young people.
And Mia Mastroff will explain the family connection as she makes her college commitment.
It's always been my dream to play there. We would always joke about, like, when I was little, my grandpa would make like announcements like, now starting number whatever, like Mia Mastroff. So now it like that he's can actually see that happen and like see me play, it's pretty special.
It's all next week on 49ers Cal High Sports.
We'll see you then.